Hi, I'm Graham Carroll. This is the SMRC Esports Championship, your chance to go from virtual to real-life motorsport and take part in the SMRC Legends Championship. Go! Anyone can take part in the SMRC Esports Championship. All you need is an iRacing account and the drive to succeed. Drivers will battle it out across 4 qualifying rounds at iconic British tracks. Each event will consist of a qualifying session and a 20-minute race in identical Legends cars, so it's all down to your speed and your racecraft. Each event will be live streamed via the Scottish Motor Racing Club Facebook page. The top 10 point scorers from the qualifying rounds, plus 4 wildcards, will go through to a semi-final assessment at Knockhill Racing Circuit on the 2nd of November with myself and 2001 World Rally Champion Robert Reid. The semi-finalists will go through an assessment on the Scottish Motor Racing Club's simulators, a high-pressure hot lap shootout around the Knockhill kart track, and an interview process. So from here, the judging panel will select the 2 drivers with the most potential to go through to the live final. 2 drivers will take to the stage for a thrilling sprint race using the Scottish Motor Racing Club simulators in front of a huge crowd, including some of the biggest names in Scottish motorsport. The winner of this race will be crowned the first ever SMRC Esports Racing Champion and will win a fully funded race meeting in the hyper-competitive Scottish Legends Car Championship. If you're up for the challenge, get signed up on the Scottish Motor Racing Club's website and get ready to race. Go!
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Apex Racing TV and welcome to the SMRC Esports Racing Championship. We're delighted to be here on the channel. Andrew Woodhouse alongside Alex Simpson. Welcome to everybody on the SMRC Facebook page as well. Alex, it's the first qualifying round of 4 tonight in the championship, which the ultimate goal is to go from virtual to reality. It's to take a Legends car and to race in the first round of the Scottish Legends Championship.
Yep, hello everyone, good to be here. Looking forward to seeing how this plans out. The old Legends car, familiar to so many of us on iRacing that maybe have gone through the rookie ranks on the oval side, because there's not, of course, it's not the rookie car on the road side. So I don't know how many people have driven this car on iRacing on the road, but it is so much fun. I couldn't think of a better car to choose for a little event like this, to be fair. So different, definitely got quirks on it, and I think it's made for some really good racing. And I like to see that Knockhill and SMRC have got involved in organising some esports event as well. And I think this is going to be a great little championship. Of course, 4 races that we're covering, as well as the final later on in the year. Should be I'm stoked.
I think it's going to be really, really good. Just got to, as we're in the practice session at the moment, it's half an hour practice, so qualifying will be coming up in just under 20 minutes time. Just got to say a big thank you to the sponsors as well who are supporting this championship, making it possible. The Scottish Legends Cars Championship, Torque, and then Knockhill Racing Circuit and Race Motorsport Insurance. So thank you very much to those guys for making it possible. And to our former teammate Graham Carroll as well, Alex, who's involved in this one.
Yeah, Graham got in touch with me and we started sort of planning this a few weeks ago in terms of the broadcast and stuff like that. So yeah, appreciate him giving us a shout and having the opportunity to show what we can do.
Yeah, and he drives, of course, for Red Bull Racing at the moment in the F1 Esports Championship. So not many better people in order to get experience from and to learn from. He's one of the judges, I believe, in this one, along with Robert Reid, who is co-driver in the won the 2001 World Rally Championship with Richard Burns. So, yeah, exceptional figure in motorsport himself. It should be a lot of fun to see how these guys go. Just looking at the lap times in practice, Alex, and it is a familiar face to many who tops the leaderboard at the moment.
Yeah, of course, we know Kevin very, very well. A very, very good driver as well. I hadn't realised he's got to 7.5k I rating now. So yeah, those that perhaps are not familiar with the licensing and rating system on iRacing that might be watching this. So we have like a safety rating. So obviously you see like a rookie. So the R 1.1k there for a bit further down in 19th place. And then you've got D, C, B, and A, and then you actually can get a World Championship license, which is what Kevin's got. And then the relevant I rating is kind of dictates how fast you are. Some might say that you can sort of stick to a particular car and gain a lot of rating that way. But most drivers tend to sort of move around, so it's a fair judge on how quick you are. And we can see, obviously, Kevin at the top there at 7.5, Williamson 4.1, so no slouch there. Ross 5.1 behind. So I'm not surprised to see kind of the drivers that we've got at the top there. Those are sort of around about 4k to 5k. So it's going to be interesting. It's not everything. This doesn't mean it's going to be a walk in the park for Kevin by any means. Although he is 4/10 clear in practice right now. Something that I think in the pre-qual he was around about that sort of time as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take a lot to unseat Kevin Ellis Jr. He is one of the fastest drivers in the world. There is no doubt about that. But a lot of talent in this race. There's some drivers who we know are very quick from previous outings on our channel. Ken Halliburton's one. He's just gone up into third in the practice with a 208.4. He's a quick driver, and especially he was in the Radical in the series I used to be.
That's right. It was the Radical series that we see him in. Yeah, he was very, very quick. So
Colin Cunniff as well, who we know is good. Chris Daines, who we know is fast. He doesn't look like he's had a great deal of time actually with the car at the moment, but he's definitely one who could move up. I'll tell you what, Alex, it's the first time in a long, long time, by the way, that I have seen every single license class in iRacing in one race, 6 different ones.
Yeah, I can't think of a time I've seen it ever, to be honest. So, yeah.
That's great, though, isn't it? Because it means that everybody's having a go at this, and everybody wants to get into that Scottish Legends Championship.
Exactly, and it just goes to show that they've opened it up to everybody as well. So it doesn't matter your ability level; everybody's got a chance at going for the prize as well.
Now, it's not only the winner that wins something from this. They do get a fully funded drive in the opening round of the 2020 Scottish Legends Championship, provided by Scottish Legends Cars. The runner-up gets their racing driver license at Knockhill. They do the ARDS test, and that's something that you have to do if you want to be successful in real-life motorsport. And all the semi-finalists will get a ticket and a VIP tour to a SMRC race meeting in 2020. So good prizes on offer, Alex, especially if you get through to the semi-finals. We were just talking. We don't quite know how many racetracks are in Scotland. So as this is a Scottish-based series, if people can point them out to us in the comments, yeah, we'll be grateful to get a bit of an education from you guys. The Legend car, Alex, going back to what you said earlier on, it is a car that I would say probably 80 to 90% of people who've got an iRacing membership have at least tried, because it is the oval car. Very different circumstances here to going round Lanier or South Boston, though, for instance.
Yeah, very much so.
Or Thompson, or wherever the Legends reside. We've all driven them. We've all tried them at Lime Rock in the road course in the week 13s as well. And that's the closest that we've got. And it is a fun car. It is nice and responsive. If you get a good setup on it, it does. It certainly. It's got a bit of speed, Alex. It's not a bad little car. It's not slow, really, is it?
I think it's like any race car. Once you get in it and you're driving it to its limits, it's still fast. You can still make mistakes. You can still bin it. So, yeah.
They're still doing over about 120 miles an hour in this thing. So it's not exactly a... and top speed, probably the weakness of this car. It's very fun in the corners. And slow corners, it should be good in as well, Alex. It's very responsive. The steering is set up in such a way that, you know, it just seems to like those hairpins and things like that.
I mean, the only experience I've got of driving this car was actually with Graham. I don't wonder if he remembers this as well. This was at COTA. We just jumped into a random week 13 race, I think it was. And we had an absolutely right laugh with it as well. So it is, you're right, it does turn. You can spin it and all sorts if you're just if you're a bit heavy on it. So
I've seen a couple of drivers actually in the practice hammering the curve at the last corner, Murray's Bend. They're going sailing into the air, 2 wheels on the track. And I think we're going to see the racing is good in this car as well, though, I seem to remember. So, and it can take a little bit of a kick in and keep on ticking, as they say.
I mean, I think we need that. You know, it can't be it can't be like an open wheeler where it's just going to fall apart really quickly. So it was a good choice of car for that as well. I'm just looking at some of the comments that we've got on the Facebook chat anyway. So we've got not kill short again, not kill reverse. So we're not getting many choices here, Woody. And over on YouTube as well.
Did they say not kill reverse?
They did, yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean,
I could have sworn there was a couple more up there. So.
There's some good karting tracks, isn't there? That's what you said earlier on, but I'm not quite sure about the rest. I was just seeing Peter Butcher going side by side with someone actually on the circuit in the practice. But yeah, it's based on a 1934 Ford, which is mental, really, when you think about it, isn't it? Yep. It's a car that Alex is almost. He's over 80 years old.
Well, the shell design,
the style of the car, yeah, the body type.
Certainly underneath it, actually, you know, some of the suspension and stuff like that is a little bit more modernised. But yeah.
They do look cool, though, don't they? I mean,
you have to admit, cars from back in that day, they did look cool, you know. So
it's probably because there was very little to no safety in a lot of respects, and that's why people can make. That's the thing. You need these days. It's very difficult to make a car just stand out and do a design that nobody's ever seen before. But yeah, these were very good and very nice looking cars, and does make a good race car with those big fat tyres. Look how they're cambered inwards on the front. Try and get the best cornering speed out of it. Of course, the setup very different to that of an oval, really. Alex, you don't want any of that left bias, really.
No, of course, yeah. I mean, the car will run nicely on ovals. It's got all the stagger and everything else that you need on there, and I think you can do asymmetrical sets with this, can you? So that you can really get it to rotate nicely, but you can obviously sort it out for a bit of road racing too. Just watching Kane go round here, you know, we haven't talked much about Snetterton. Snetterton's still, I mean, it's not new on iRacing, but it is still relatively.
It's newish.
Yeah, and it is a great little circuit. And actually, I think the 300 layout, this is going to be quite. That's going to be a good one for the opening round of this as well, because it does give a couple of overtaking opportunities, but it's not massive. It's not so wide open that people are just going to be throwing it in left, right, and centre. So
yeah, it's very narrow in a couple of places, like here at Brundle and Nelson, and the final corner Murray's as well. But it is very wide on the Bentley Straight, and and the new parts of the circuit do offer a nice flow and a couple of overtaking places. A couple of hairpins. There's the Wilson hairpin as well, which you know, that's always a place where we see some argy-bargy on the opening lap. But yeah, looking at it, you've got a few fast corners as well. Rich is the first corner. He's very, very scary in some cars.
in
this car,
dab a brake,
really sure.
drop it down and throw it in, kind of thing. Get on the power,
shock it in,
get out there.
Montreal hairpin, then a nice long left-hander at Palmer, and then the hairpin at Agostini. I don't know if you got the track map actually there, mate. If you can bring that up potentially, and show the viewers there. You see the hairpin in the middle of the track map there. That's Agostini. Then into the fast left-hander at Hamilton. Then Oggies. And then Williams. And that's onto the Bentley Straight. And I think into Brundle and Nelson, that could well be the best overtaking point on the circuit. But there are four good ones really here. And that is Montreal, Brundle and Nelson, Murray's, and Agostini. I think that's what we're going to see there. Murray's is an interesting corner, Alex, because it comes after the long, you see at the bottom of that track map there for the viewers at home, the long sort of bulbous right-hander at Coram, which is a very, very long corner. Really tests the tyres, and he's really going to strain the cars there. But you've got to slow the car down for a very, very tight. And here is Coram, actually. That's the car going through there. You'll see at the end of this long right-hander. Got to slow the car down, not crash, for a very tight left-hander.
And I think you'll see a bit of that as well, like the rear just getting a little loose because obviously the guys are having to brake and turn through the right-hander. So, yeah.
Yeah,
just
a
a
question in
question.
itself. Sorry, mate.
Sorry, yeah, there was a question on YouTube as well, which was whether or not this was a fixed setup. I see it has been answered in the chat actually, but yeah, just for those that are watching and don't realise, it is a fixed setup, so everybody's on equal footing. No one's had to go and build anything or anything like that. So,
Which gives everybody a chance, really, doesn't it? Because, you know, some people do not know how to set up a car. I don't really know very well how to set one up. So the fixed setup is a great tool for those new to iRacing especially, and for drivers with less technical knowledge like myself to get in and have a bash and know they're on equal footing. I think that's important, Alex, especially with esports competition, you know, that it's important that everyone has the same chance.
absolutely, and I think we're seeing that with a lot of different esports series, especially the LAN events where you go there and everyone tends to be on the same equipment. It just it really does even it out somewhat as well. It can also spice it up quite a bit as well, because drivers have to be very adaptable to the equipment. You might be very fast on your own equipment, but if you can't adapt, you're going to struggle come some of the finals. It'll be interesting to see what equipment's going to be used in the final, of course, at the end of this season as well.
Yeah, just to let everybody know what's going to happen with the schedule for this. 4 qualifying races on iRacing. Tonight, round 1. And Thursday, the 3rd of October, we will be broadcasting Alton Park International for the Legends drivers. And then Wednesday, the 9th of October, it will be Silverstone International. And then Thursday, the 17th of October, will be Brands Hatch Indy. So this is probably the longest track of the lot, I would say. And then the semi-final is actually held with the evaluation, including the karting and there's karting and things like that, and then a proper evaluation with Graham Carroll and Robert Reed. That's going to be at the Knockhill Racing Circuit in Scotland on the 2nd of November. So get your warm clothes out for that one, boys. Knockhill in November, Alex, eh?
Yeah, rather them than me, I think, on that one.
Oh dear.
Get your thermals. Oh, Ben having a big old moment.
Yeah, he won't be happy that we've caught that one on the stream. There's always one, isn't there? The first unlucky driver to spin or crash when we're on board with them. It looks like a handful, doesn't it, though?
Yeah, and again, those that are not familiar with iRacing, when you do have a bit of a slide like that, you will sort of like really heat the tyres, and the car is going to be a little sketchy for a good half a lap or so after that, while they come back into their range. So
yeah, with this Legends car, it does have quite a strong power delivery as well. So in the immediate corners afterwards, you've really got to watch it, because it does have quite a bit of torque.
Yeah, of course, you go in, you understeer a little bit. You can use the loud pedal to help rotate the car. That was something I remember quite well from the Kota fun event. Was you can go in a bit deep
just
and
slide a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, and you can just give it a right old punt of gas, and it will kick the back end out and get you rotating. So
You just got to make sure you don't overdo it though, because of course you can, sometimes push it too far. The final, incidentally, will be held at the Radisson Blu Hotel in Glasgow, Scotland, on the 23rd of November. So, yeah, they still need the thermals for that one, I think, but at least they're going to be inside this time. But yeah, that's going to be good. Whoever gets through, of course, to the semi-final stage at Knockhill, as we mentioned, will be given a VIP tour at an SMRC race meeting, which is going to be really, really good indeed. Practice is almost at an end, Alex, and what we are seeing quite a big spread in terms of the times. However, we know from experience and from all the races we've covered over the years is that, you know, you can never write off anybody, especially in these kind of shootout races where people really are pushing hard to get the positions. You know, anything can really happen.
Only got to take, you know, one incident on the first lap, drivers trying a little bit too hard, something like that, takes a few of the big names out and it throws it way open, you know. So like you say, I think the drivers at the front, they'll be really hoping for a nice clean first lap, but certainly the guys that are 5th maybe to 10th, they've all got a shot if something happens on this first lap as well. So
although remember as well though that the judges will be
true,
taking this into account as well, so hopefully, you know, there's no one who wins by smashing anyone off, but we'll see how that goes.
I was more thinking of you can
you can capitalize on other
you can pick up a bunch of places through other people's mistakes and things like that and be the innocent party and you know,
but you
staring down a win.
What you don't want to do, especially if you're the likes of Halliburton or Williamson or whatever, though, really is do a rash move to try and get the lead early, and make a mistake which might affect you later on. So, yeah, it'll be very interesting, and going to see how that goes. Now, 10 minutes of qualifying is upon us, and well, in the open qualifying, Alex, it's about trying to find the space on the track. It's about trying to get the tyres in the optimal range for your fastest lap, you know, when the fuel's optimal.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think they'll be going out there too hot, really. They'll want to sort of save the best of the wear, so expect them to have sort of steady outlaps, I would think.
Yeah, you may see the more inexperienced drivers potentially flying around this outlap, which could be very interesting for the likes of Meredith, who we're watching here near the front.
Yeah, and just worth pointing out as well, what our overlay will show you will be the sector times in sort of yellow, green or purple, depending on how people have done. So that should give you an idea of who's on a good lap as well as they're coming towards the finish line.
Yeah, just for the uninitiated, orange means it's not a personal best, green means it is, and purple means it's the fastest sector of the session so far by anybody. So if you weren't aware, you are now.
It's also worth pointing out as well a little red flash on our timing tower on the left hand side on their position indicator. That also means the driver has gone off track, so that lap will not likely count.
Yeah, any contact with another driver, any brush with the wall or off into the grass or anything like that, or a spin, will invalidate the qualifying lap. So drivers have to be very, very careful with that. Just going to have a quick look, actually, just to remind myself if there is an incident limit. There is actually an incident limit in play as well. That's one thing that we do have to mention to the viewers at home, is that there is a 20 incident limit. iRacing gives 1 incident for going off the track, 2 for a loss of control, and 4 for a severe contact. So, and sometimes there's a 2x as well. If you do hit a wall quite hard, sometimes you get a contact 2 times. As Sam Harper then puts in the first lap time. Although
I think that's still an outlap. It's just Sam's
Sam's
Sam's box was behind the start finish line there, so it's still still counting.
He'll be wanting them to stop the session now.
Yeah, love it.
Scott Smith goes to the top. Hey, look, some of these drivers might not get to the front of the timing screen, so I suppose it's good for them to get a little bit of press at the top there. Who's on a lap though? Who's on a fast lap? It looks like Chris Daines is on quite a fast lap actually.
Yep. Purple first sector so far. James Saunders just ahead of him on the circuit as well.
And you can see the black bar creeping across. It's like a progress bar, tells you exactly where they are in the lap. Yeah, Dane's looking quite good. Fastest first sector for Peter Butcher now, 40.57. So that is about 2/10 quicker than Chris Daines on this occasion.
Kane Halliburton just beat that, then another 2/10 quicker. Just went Kevin Ellis as well, so sometimes starting to go down. We'll stay with Daines though, because he's going to be the one that finishes the lap first.
Yeah, he's
James
probably going to
Saunders.
get the best timing out of these guys who were out there early.
You can see he's just sort of got Saunders ahead of him. He'll be able to use a little bit of draft, of course, while we're looking down from the blimp.
Yeah, you might not get a lot of draft here, but it'll definitely be helping him a little bit. Look how cambered those front wheels are. From that shot, you can really see it. I think it's because they stick out so much, isn't it? That you notice more. You got those little bumpers as well, though, front and back, which have been used many a time on iRacing. Let's not kid ourselves. So Chris Daines coming across the line. Then let's see what he does. He goes fastest with a 2:09.168. He only picked Saunders, by 7,000th of a second, and that might have been the fact that he was behind him, as he nearly gets caught up with a car coming out of the pits there.
Ellis Jr. then, who we're looking at right now, Sector 1, Sector 2, purple. He'll start to show, should see his information come up on screen in a second. There it is. And is it going to be a trio? Yes, it is.
Yeah, fastest for Kevin Ellis. Whoa, 1.5 seconds quicker than Chris Daines. 1.2 quicker than Fraser Williamson, who was in third position. Of course, Ellis, one of the advantages that he's got, Alex, over some of the other drivers is he's used to qualifying in intense pressure in the World Championship, the Grand Prix Series, the Porsche Esports Super Cup and things like that.
Yeah, 1 or 2 laps, that's all he gets to do his business as well, so got to nail it. Of course, I feel like I'm the same here. I prefer a 10-minute session just to try and build my pace up, get that banker in and then go out there and really start to give it a little bit more. So, and of course, they certainly have got the opportunity to do that. 10 minutes. Oh, who was that in the background? Someone.
Sliding.
Yeah.
Might have been Tofts, actually. Might have been Jacob Tofts,
yeah,
possibly.
He's gone.
Now, who's on a good lap? Nicky Meredith, who's currently in 12th position, about 4 seconds off the pace.
Here he is.
But coming through on a personal best. And he's just going into the bomb hole then. And he's just got Coram and Murray's to go. It looks like a tidy lap, looks smooth. Let's see how Meredith can do here. Into the final corner, this left-hander, so easy to misjudge. Meredith gets it right this time. Probably okay on the outside for the track limits, I would say.
2:10.7 or better is going to improve his position. What's it going to be?
2:10.2.
2:10.2. Nice.
Good stuff by Meredith. Gains a couple of places ahead of Gary Brown and Michael Weddell. So Ellis Jr. on provisional pole at the moment. 2:07.6. Fraser Williamson second. Chris Daines third. James Saunders fourth. Jack Eyre in fifth. And Tofts, Grossman, Butcher, Corson and Harper. That's the top 10. Good to see the rookie out there. Callum Kirkpatrick. 19th place at the minute. Just done a personal best lap. With 2:13.3. Not easy cars to drive for a rookie when they're up against a World Championship driver, I will say that.
Not at all.
Adam Brown and Xavi Ross with good sectors so far. Adam Brown was in 27th place. Not really set a representative lap time. And
see what he just did. Oh, he certainly improved. It's moved him up to 15th place as well. So
yeah, good improvement there. 12 positions get.
Xavi as well. He was pretty quick in practice, so let's see what he does. Obviously representing Iberia here.
Yep. Let's have a look then.
Good first couple of
sectors. A decent lap time.
On green every sector. Where's that put him?
P2.
Not too bad. We'll take
P2.
that, that's for sure. 208.
Sorry, mate.
No, there you go.
208.5. Yeah, that's a good lap time though, especially when you haven't got that banker lap in that you were talking about. There is a bit of pressure on that when he was down in 27th place or wherever he was. Ben Craner comes across. He was in 26th, and I think he stays in 26th. He did improve though, 215.8. Here's Peter Butcher. He stays 9th. Sam Corson stays 10th as well. Ibrahim Khan is 21st. And let's see what he can do. He had a good middle sector. Third sector didn't look that great for Khan, and he stays in 21st place. Halliburton then. He's one of the ones that we expect to see near the front. As Dave Christie gets 2 green sectors, does he get a third one? He does. And the Knockhill commentator goes up into 21st place.
Halliburton to second as well on that lap, so didn't look like it was anything that was going to light up the timing sheet, but it was just consistent, and I think that's where he got that good lap, so up into P2.
Ross McGregor goes up into 13th place, 210.1. As the checkered flag is now out, Alex, so everybody who does complete a lap, that's your lot.
Oh,
you did manage to...
not looking too good.
No, you're not supposed to be able to see all of the engine, really, are you?
That's much more 1930s.
Yeah. Why do we need a cover on it? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the wheel guards have gone, though, and I'm sure that's not going to make it go any quicker.
Oh, Meredith, good couple of sectors. Let's see if we can get him up again. He
15?
had him, yeah, he had improved to 10th, wasn't it, the last lap? So let's just see if he can nail the final sector here and get himself back into that top 10. Who was that who just popped him?
Jack Ayres gone 5th. Yeah. One thing I like about Meredith's approach, though, Alex, is it seems like it's been very smooth and very considered and just improving gradually throughout the 10 minutes. Oh, is his final corner a bit scruffy?
Just a bit
See
deep.
what it does. Yeah.
Yeah, not as good sector. Did he improve? He did.
Yeah, he did.
13th.
Wow, he probably lost 2 or 3 tenths in the last sector.
Scott Smith as well.
Was in 20th place, Smith. And he goes into... He stays at 20th. He did improve, though.
Yep.
James Saunders was in 7th. He's now in 6th. He's just got ahead of Chris Danes. Just got Scott Brazier out there, Alex, I think, still. And somebody's in the grass. Here comes Brazier.
That's an improvement, I think. Oh yeah, much. 19th.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, his first lap was 17 seconds off, so I guess he didn't manage to get a clean lap in. And Callum Kirkpatrick, the rookie, as we mentioned, 26th place. Right then, well, qualifying is over for this SMRC Esports Racing Championship. The first of 4 qualifying races for a chance to drive in the Scottish Legends Championship. This is going to be great stuff. 20-minute race at the Snetterton 300 circuit in England. And yeah, we're going to see the grid when it arrives in a second, I think. We're still waiting for someone to
Yeah, we are. A couple of
cross
people.
the line. Somebody must have just snuck over the line or something, but
I see some questions
quick.
about paints and things like that. Trading paints is running, gentlemen, so there's not much else I can do there, I'm afraid. Right, I think we should have the grid.
All right, here we go then. Kevin Ellis Jr. is on pole for the first round of the championship, and I tell you what a statement he's made there. 207.616, 8/10 of a second clear of Kane Halliburton, who's a very quick driver in his own right. Xavi Ross in third, Fraser Williamson fourth, fifth for Jack Eyre, James Saunders in sixth, Chris Daines in seventh, eighth is Jacob Toffs, and then on row 5 is Ronald Grossman and Peter Butcher. Sam Corson is 11th with Ben Craner alongside him, and then in 13th place is Nicky Meredith with Michael Weddell in 14th, 15th for Ross McGregor, 16th for Sam Harper, and Colin Cunniff in 17th, Gary Brown 18th, Scott Brazier in 19th, Adam Brown in 20th, and Scott Smith in P21, Scott Hunter in 22nd, Dave Christie in 23rd alongside BSRTC veteran Rob Graham, Ibrahim Khan in 25th, 26th, Callum Kirkpatrick, Alan Gordon in 27th, Jack Drabinski in 28th, Alistair Lowe in 29th, Brian Savage 30th, and Brian Stewart is 31st and last at the moment. Well, Alex, we've got a very quick pace lap around Coram, basically. So, final thoughts before the start.
I'm just looking forward to seeing how this race pans out. Let's just hope we have a nice, clean first lap. That's what we really want. That's what's going to give us a good race here, I think.
Yeah, the more drivers still in with a chance, the better. Double file restart then. Just like the Legends. Although the Legends on iRacing and the Rookies don't have any cautions. So here we go. Now then, the pace car's going to pull in any moment now. And the first round of the SMRC Esports Racing Championship will get underway now. The green flag flies at Snetterton. We are away. Kevin Ellis Jr. keeps his advantage from pole position. Halliburton in second, although Williamson has got ahead of Ross. But Ross is up the inside into Riches. I think he's cut the inside there. He might get a slowdown penalty. I'm not sure. But Xavi Ross trying to get that position back from Williamson. He's managed it. And Williamson getting a bit swamped by James Saunders, who flies up the inside to Wilson. That was a terrific move on the brakes, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely nailed it there as well. I thought for a minute he was going in extremely deep, but not at all. Saved it, lovely.
Oh, we've had some incidents at the back. We've had a lot of drivers having problems. Khan and Kirkpatrick and Graham and Brazier and Smith and yeah, there's a few of them off at least. Could potentially have been just some of them very slow around the hairpin, maybe some kind of concertina effect, Alex, I would imagine. We'll try and get a replay of that for you in just a minute or two, just once the first lap's finished. But Kevin Ellis Jr. then, 0.6 of a second clear. What's he like from this leading position, Alex? You know him better than most.
Yeah, I think he'll feel quite comfortable. It's now 0.8 of a second. Once you've got that sort of little buffer where you're not having to check your mirror every second, you can really focus on the track in front of you and push on. So he'll be happy with that. Halliburton needs to break away from Xavi here, I think, if he's going to try and get after Kevin as well. But
he is a Scotsman as well, Kevin Ellis, so he'll be excited to have the chance to drive in the Scottish Legends, I'm sure. Got to negotiate these qualifying rounds first of all, though. Coming through the bomb hole and then Coram, and it's 1 second for Ellis Jr. Just under that now. Halliburton, we know him from. Oh, crash! And that's oh dear.
It's Daines.
That's Toffs and Daines, isn't it? So
yeah, they're okay.
Jacob Toffs and Chris Daines getting into one another at Murray's. 3 wide down the main straight here. And that is Sam Harper car 95 is Nicky Meredith, and car 7 is Michael Waddell.
Yeah, good battle.
Oh, and somebody having
that's
wide for Meredith. And car 6, car 06, had a little look up the inside of Sam Corson. Great battle in the midfield, early going. This is Halliburton, and under pressure from Javi Ross. Looks like Scott Smith has crashed. See if we can see that in a moment. This is Javi Ross trying to take away second place from Ken Halliburton. Oh, and he hit the curb very hard there, Alex. Unsettled the car a little bit.
Watch the slowdown penalty just to the right there as well. Those again that are not familiar with iRacing and slowdown. If you cut too much of the track, it will give you a time penalty, and you need to give it up pretty much straight away.
That can count as going wide sometimes as well. So you've got to be careful. Doing over 175 kilometers an hour, well over 100 miles an hour, probably closer to the 120 mark. Excuse me, into Brundle Nelson. Yeah, it's inviting that curb on the right hand side, Alex, in Nelson, but if you hit it too hard you can go skywards.
Yeah, these cars will take a curb or two, but like you say, it is pretty massive. Oh, that's just a little bit deep. It's
I think he was contemplating trying to go around the outside, you know, and then realised there was no grip there. Oh, 27. Who's that off? 27th place. Somebody's just gone off big time. I think it was Alistair Lowe, possibly, who has bit the dust on that one.
It was Lowe. Let's have a quick look at that one, and we'll also get that lap 1 replay if we can get it. This is Lowe. Let's see what happens here.
Spin.
We just hits that curb like we were saying.
Is he back on? Yeah, looks like it. Asolo going on his way then again. Lost over 10 seconds though, Alex. That's how bad it can get. This is Brian Stewart we're looking at here. What's happened to him in car 21?
That wasn't quite the first lap. I'm trying to find the first lap.
The first lap is when there's a bunch of red on the first lap.
Here we go. I think this could be around here. You certainly see
it's the guys at the very back, isn't it, who've got into it, I think.
Just over the curb, a little bit touch.
There it is.
It's already happened.
Car 29, who's that? That's Robert Graham. So maybe look from his point of view at the same thing and maybe see what it comes to. Here we go then. It's into the hairpin. The guys in front get into it. Is that what's happened? Oh, spinner, car 31. Wow. That was Scott Brazier spinning and into Scott Smith. And then they collected Graham and a couple of others. Big damage as well. Now then, Ross is getting very close to Halliburton. Where's he going to pass him though, Alex? Where can he pass him?
Again, looking at this sort of
Is
outside line. I think for this, he's just more trying to shape up a better exit onto the centre straight.
Got a good one. Got a very good one. He's getting quickly as Xavi Ross. Not quickly enough, though. Not a massive slipstream in these Legends cars. Having a look into Rich's, of course, he's trying to unsettle him. This is Grossman versus... Saunders. Oh. Well, it can be deadly, Riches. It can be difficult to go through side by side. Just seen it there. This is Scott Brazier trying to recover from his earlier mishap with... he's right on the back of Brian Stewart this time.
Oh,
not the inside. Little cutback. Oh, a little bump. Slight touch of tyres between them. Brazier into the hairpin, and he gets in front, so he's into 20th place.
Let's go back to this P2 battle because it's close.
Yeah, I mean, It's allowing Kevin Ellis to get away, isn't it? As well. The more that they're sort of concerned with each other. So the qualification for the semi-final, by the way, is the top 10 point scorers plus 4 wildcards go to Knockhill for the semi-final. So the top 10, there's a lot up for grabs. Here comes Ross, then he's up the inside into Brundle. It's late on the brakes, they bang wheels. Oh, and then Halliburton spins as a result of the contact. Now he has to wait, does he? Does he do a good rejoin? He does.
So I've got to ask
Jack
you,
Hare up to third.
I've got to ask you, Andrew, then, you know, with that in mind, that really the top 10, I mean, yes, you want to battle for every position, but this is just all about qualifying to that final, isn't it? You know, do you need to be trying to hold it around the outside there? You know,
if you're second and third,
is there a mentality that you've got to have? It's like, right, okay, I'm in a good position. Let's just not lose it here. So,
yeah, if you're second and third, you got to feel like you've got to look at the big picture. What do we always say on Apex Racing TV? Big picture driving, very important. I know it doesn't mean that you can't battle, but I mean, yeah, I mean, we didn't really see. Can we have a look at it again, maybe, and see? Maybe you can see. Tell us what you think. You know, what do you think it was? Whether it was a racing incident or not, but yeah, just take us through it.
Obviously got the draft, so like you say, he's well within his right to poke out and have a look. Doesn't really drift wide or anything. Little touch from the side. I mean,
Kane didn't really give him a lot of room.
No.
It's a difficult one.
Let's take a look again.
He was fine in terms of overlap, wasn't he? Oh.
Yeah. It's a tricky one because there's only really one line through there that you want, isn't there? So you're right. I mean,
wasn't a big nudge either, but it was enough.
I tell you what, it looked a lot worse from the other angle than what it does from the chopper there. So just a bit unfortunate, I think. Yeah, I think perhaps Kane thought he'd left enough room, but when you look at it from on board, very difficult. Anyway, that's for the stewards to deal with.
I assumed on first viewing, mate, that Ross had basically overcooked it, but it doesn't look like he has.
No.
This is Williamson versus Butcher for P4, so Peter Butcher going through ahead of Fraser Williamson. Although he's coming back at him. Having a look. If you can stick with him through Coram, he might be able to have a go into Murray's, but got to be very brave to have a look into there. Looks like there's a couple of drivers, a couple of positions swapping around actually, over and over again. Cunniff and Toffs look like they're having a bit of a ding-dong out there. Very close between Butcher and Williamson. Good exit by Butcher.
Yeah, pulled away nicely.
Colin Cunniff and Jacob Toffs, Alex, have passed each other multiple times. I think Chris Daines has made a move as well, up into 9th place. He's made 2 places on that lap, Chris Daines.
Of course, on screen we have got like the biggest shakers and movers right now. Obviously up 6.
A lot of shaking in this Legends car.
Yeah, it looks like Butcher the best at the moment, up 6 places. Down 7 there for Saunders, unfortunately.
Craner as well, up 6 from where he started.
This little battle looks like it might be quite tasty. Looking at the timing tower right now.
Well, this is Daines, Waddell, Harper, Meredith, and Saunders just behind them as well. Saunders trying to come back through the field, of course, after qualifying in 6th position. Chris Daines has now got to the head of the pack with quite a lot of damage as well, it has to be said, Alex, but he certainly is a fighter, Chris Daines, that's for sure. I race in the league with him on Sunday nights in the ARL, in the BSR TC. Oh! Little bump between Meredith and Saunders as Saunders tries to go up the inside and does, and bumps Meredith. Meredith's off. I think Meredith's spun, has he?
Oh, there he is, into the wall.
Oh, he's into the wall.
Just recovering, yeah, damage as well on that car. That front right does not look in good shape. I mean, I know it has a lot of camber most of the time, but
looked like he possibly got pushed off a little bit there, but
Fraser
But hey.
trying to come back at Peter Butcher here as well.
Yeah, good battle this. Craner versus Williamson as well.
Does anyone mind if we just take a lap on board with Kev? Don't want to be called biased here, obviously, as we know him so well, but I feel like he's not going to get a great deal of airtime.
No, let's do it then over the start-finish straight. You want to get as far to the left as you can for Rich's fast right-hander. Let's see what he does in terms of gears. Drops it down to fourth, throws it in, loses about 30 kilometers an hour, and then straight back on the power again, as you have to take a good run down towards what used to be the Montreal hairpin, now named after Justin Wilson. Get the car in nice and tight. Accelerate out as quickly as you dare. Use a bit of the curb on the left-hand side and stay to the right for Palmer. Medium speed right-hander, quite long, fairly late apex. Don't want to get on the power too early, as you will just understeer wide on the outside. And then Agostini coming next then, hard on the brakes. Again, tight hairpin. Kevin, patient on the throttle. You've got to be in this Legends car. You can't really hammer it because it will bite you. And then the fast left-hander at Hamilton. Good commitment there from Ellis. Really strong. Right back on the throttle. And then the right-hander. Oggies, and then Williams. This is a crucial corner, Alex, because it leads onto the Bentley straight.
Nailed there as well. Still pushing, even though he's got this 7-second lead. You see it on the mini-map.
Yeah, he's got a big lead. Can he keep it then through Brundle and Nelson? Brundle is the faster part. Left-hander. Hard on the brakes. It's got a bit of camber to help you. Avoid the sausage curve on the right-hand side. It will throw your car into the air. And then the bomb hole, quite fast. The camber really helps you in the middle of the corner. He runs a bit wide, does Ellis, not too bad. Won't lose too much speed before the long right-hander of Coram. Very, very fast. Slowing as we go. A little bit of spurt on the power before Murray's Bend. Turns it in. Hard on the power, over the line. Let's see what the lap time is. He did a 2:08.1 last time round. Could it be the fastest lap of the race? Let's see. Almost 2:08.17. That's the consistency of a World Championship driver. Great lap. Ben Craner then on screen at the moment. He's trying to stave off Kate Halliburton, but not sure he'll be able to do that, Alex, as Halliburton was very, very quick early on. He's putting up a good defence, though.
Yep, covering off the inside nicely. Don't go too deep. Park the car on the apex, which is exactly what he does, and it makes it very, very difficult for Kane to get by. While we were watching that lap with Kevin, actually, it was worth pointing out that Kane did get by Fraser Williamson. So Fraser struggling on the long run pace. It's easy to cook the tyres on these cars, and I wonder if that's perhaps what Fraser's doing, just perhaps overdriving it a little bit.
Yeah, he was very quick in the practice, wasn't he? But seems to have got steadily worse for him, actually. Practice, qualifying, and the race. I think he was second or third in practice, fourth in qualifying, and now seventh in the race. Maybe he's just trying to get those points, though, to get in the top 10. You know, that's what you need.
We're hearing, actually, Fraser's got problem with throttle as well, so perhaps not getting full throttle out there. So this is why he's dropping down the order. Just going to have to stay out there. Oh!
Whoa! How did he miss him?
Don't know, but he did, and that's the place.
Somehow he's missed him there. Craner getting all sorts of sideways. And, somebody off in the background. I think that's the Saunders-Danes Weddell battle, isn't it?
I think it is.
Saunders going off the track. Chris Danes likes a scrap. The Viking. Oh, he's out of shape.
That's a twitch and a half there.
Jeez, it's a good save, actually. And here comes Toffs up the inside of Weddell. I think I've said his name about 3 different ways, Weddell. If you want to correct me, please do. But yeah, he's battling hard with Tofts. Jacob Toffs has had an up and down race, really. Started in P8. He's now 13th, so obviously not doing his points for the semi-finals a great deal of good. But there are 4 wildcards, Alex, so if somebody does make a bit of a mess of the first 4 rounds, they've still got a chance to be chosen by the adjudicators.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think there are some good drivers still that were in pre-qual and things like that, so we may see them appear in future rounds, so we'll have to wait and see. Oh, 60% throttle we're hearing.
Ah, well, he's
For,
doing a good job then in
Yeah,
that
I'll
case.
say so, absolutely.
Goodness me. Oh, it's a good battle going on for 18th and 19th, actually. You've got Ada Brown and Ibrahim Khan, and this is Toffs. Oh, Toffs versus Danes again. Toffs versus Weddle, sorry.
Have a little look further back as well, because this is Cunniff and Gregor. Grossman ahead.
Colin Cunniff, a veteran of the BSRTC, trying his hand at the Legend car. Doing a decent job as well, 15th out of the 31 who started. And out of the 31 who started, Alex, we've still got 28 of them, I believe, are still going. Which is very good. Don't know how some of them are still going, looking at the damage that they've received, but they are.
This is what we were saying earlier on. This car is built to last.
80 plus years, 85 years.
Yeah. I don't want to get my geek on too much, but wasn't it like one of these cars, or something very, very similar, that was found in space on an episode of Star Trek? There we go, real geeky.
Yeah, I think
Built to last, I tell you.
I think it was, yeah.
Racing commentator, sim race enthusiast, and yeah, sci-fi geek. I'm sorry, it can't get any worse, can I?
I mean, you know. Oh, he must be a devil with the ladies. I can't talk. But yeah, here we go then. Sarah Harper and James Saunders battling away, 9th and 10th. I will try and find that out for you while you're actually going there. Yeah, there was a Ford pickup truck apparently in an episode of the Voyager.
Oh, that was the one.
Voyager, and it was described as a vehicle being used to transport small to medium payloads across land distances of several kilometers, often for light industrial or agricultural applications. There you go. Unlike this Ford here, which nowadays is mostly used for this kind of thing and drag racing.
Problem for Khan, I think. He suddenly dropped down, Meredith back through.
Well, that's a good Star Trek reference in itself, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Khan!
Back on topic, sorry. Oh, Kevin Ellis Jr. coming up to start finish line. Final lap of the race. The timer has come to a close. He's weaving in celebration. Flawless drive. What can we say about that? Just comfortable up there. Xavi Ross, very, very good drive in second too.
And here comes Jack Eyre. I'll tell you what, he'll be happy with that. And he gets a little bit of the bubbly for third place. I'm sure he'll be really, really happy with that. And Butcher in fourth. Halliburton coming over in fifth. He would have wanted a lot more from that, but
still a good recovery.
I feel hard done by. But as you said, it's down to the stewards to decide, isn't it? And we were having so much fun with that race, we got distracted and forgot it was 20 minutes.
This is it. Oh, on the brakes there for Saunders, but by the line. Everyone's coming screaming across.
That's the thing with these with this race is it's pretty short and sweet, but it's a lot of fun. Drivers were definitely making some moves out there, and definitely a very enjoyable round of the SMRC Esports Racing Championship. We certainly did enjoy that one. Oh! There's a crash.
I step away just at the right time, I think.
The best part about that was I don't know if it was an intention. I think it was an accident. Oh dear. Kevin Ellis Jr. though, World Championship driver, 7.5K I rating as you can see there, and definitely a commanding drive from a driver who's used to elite level competition. Let's face it.
Yeah, just sticking around just to see if we get any celebrations. We're still waiting for a couple of drivers to actually cross the start-finish line. The official race results have not come through to us yet.
I think Rob Graham's coming through with a damaged car. I think that's one of them.
Oh, a little bit of a drift, a little bit of power slide.
Nice.
He must have been listening.
I give it the beans coming out of the last corner. Into the pits he goes. But yeah, I tell you what, there was it was a good caliber of driver that was in this race certainly, and Kevin Ellis showing his quality there, winning by 9.5 seconds in the first round of this championship. Xavi Ross is in second, Jack Eyre third, Peter Butcher in fourth, Ken Halliburton in fifth, Ben Craner in sixth, ahead of Fraser Williamson, who was stuck on 60% throttle and still finished in seventh place. Excellent driving from him. Sam Coulson in 8th, James Saunders in 9th, Sam Harper in 10th, and then Chris Daines in P11, Ronald Grossman in 12th, Jacob Toss 13th place, Michael Weddell in 14th, Ross McGregor 15th, 16th for Colin Cunniff, 17th Scott Brazier, and then Nicky Meredith in 18th place, 19th for Ibrahim Khan, and then Adam Brown in 20th, Callum Kirkpatrick in 21st. That's a good finish for the rookie driver. Brian Savage in 22nd place, Dave Christie in 23rd, Jack Trubinsky in 24th, Gary Brown 25th, Alan Gordon 26th, then Brian Stewart, Rob Graham in 28th, and then 29th was Alistair Lowe. He didn't finish the race. Neither did Scott Smith, who we saw get hit pretty hard on the opening lap. And Scott Hunter, I don't think he finished the first lap. But yeah, very good race, Alex. I really enjoyed that, and bodes well for the championship, doesn't it? We're going to see some close action out there.
Yeah, I think so. Like, it's going to take a lot to beat Kevin, clearly, but the battle to sort of get yourself to that final, very wide open.
Yeah, it's not about winning necessarily these 4 rounds, is it? It's about getting to Knock Hill, and then getting in the real cars and impressing them.
Yeah, some good battling going on from sort of, in that top 10 as well. So that's going to make it quite exciting, I think, just to see who's going to get there, who's going to get to the final.
Yeah, because the final is just 2 drivers.
We have got Kevin. He has jumped in for an interview, so we could do that. And of course, any of the drivers watching, if you are on the Apex Racing TV Discord and you fancy a quick little chat, we've got another 5-10 minutes left. By all means, head on over here and we'll see if we can get you in. But let's bring Kevin in.
Kevin Ellis Jr. then joins us in the commentary box. Kev, first of all, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yep.
Oh, hello, mate. Long time no see. Anyway, well done today. That was. It looked fairly easy, but it also looked like quite a lot of fun in that Legends car as well.
Yeah, it's a great combo. This the Legends on the road courses has always been a good laugh on iRacing. Just the way they handle is something a bit different. It's not quite the same as what I'm used to with the Porsche Cup car, obviously on here. But it's a good change of pace. And yeah, I mean, even being out front there, you can still have a bit of fun sliding the car around and kind of kicking the back end out and stuff like that. So yeah, no, really good fun to drive this car around here.
Obviously, it's about getting into that top 10 and qualifying for Knock Hill. Still a lot of work to do, but are you confident that if you can stay out of trouble, that could be coming your way?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Obviously, I don't want to count my chickens too early, but it's looking pretty good so far. But anything can happen here. All it takes is just to dip a wheel, and in qualifying, and you'll be starting 28th rather than up at the front. So yeah, just got to keep my head down and keep the eyes on the prize at the end of it and just take it one race at a time.
Alex, have you got anything for Kev?
No, really, just to echo what you did. Just a great first drive. I mean, lots to play for. I mean, once you get, if you get to that final, I mean, real car. If you were to win it, one round. But you're quite excited about this. Actually, it's quite a nice little prize.
Yeah, for sure, it's something different. A lot of these events I've kind of let fly in the past, but when I saw this come up, I thought, nah, I've let enough of these, fall through my hands and not even attempt. So, I thought it was definitely worth it to give a go, and just really excited to see what we can do. Obviously, I hope I don't embarrass myself if I do eventually get there and get on the track and dump the car or something. But for sure, I'm going to give them absolute best over the next 3 weeks and see what we can do here. And fingers crossed all goes well throughout the selection phase and all the other rounds we've got to go through after this. So it's a long journey. It's a long journey. Don't want to, as I said earlier, don't want to count the chickens too early. But feeling confident and looking forward to it.
Looking to the next round, which is at Alton Park. Is that a circuit that you've got much experience with?
To be honest with you, I don't think I even own the circuit.
Oh.
I actually had to buy Snetterton on Sunday just to race, just to do the pre-queue. So I may need to go and buy Alton Park as well. I haven't got a lot of experience on these smaller club tracks, so plenty of practice will be getting put in over the next few weeks, that's for sure. Be buying that and getting my teeth sunk straight into it as soon as I can.
All right, nice one. Well, thanks for your time. And again, like I say, if you want to give a big shout out to the sponsors and to anybody you'd like, it'd be great.
So of course, everyone at Apex and Evolution Racing Team, those guys have done a really good job across the whole iRacing service. Of course, to the sponsors, Logitech G, SpeedCafe.com, SDK Gaming and Simputers. And I want to say a special shout out to Graham and all the guys at SMRC for setting this whole thing up. Really, really great opportunity and glad to finally be able to do something like this. Really excited.
All right, well, Kev, thanks for joining us, mate, and we'll catch you next time.
Thank you very much. Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Kevin Ellis Jr. there, and I believe Alex has found Fraser Williamson.
Fraser, hello.
Hello there.
Well, we obviously got the information about halfway through the race that you had some pedal problems there. It was looking good. You were competitive right in there. And then you just started to drop back. We weren't really sure what was going on. Maybe we thought you got damage or some sorts, but hardware problem by the sound of it.
Yeah, got damage lap 1, getting with a bit of contact, which happens in these cars with these sorts of races. I'm not used to this sprint format. It's been years since I've done a sprint race. I stick to my endurance stuff mainly, so it's a different speed. Bit of rear contact, and then my throttle pedal decided let's not go 100%, which small issue when you've got straight lines.
Well, I mean, let's put that aside because practice pace looked really, really strong. Qualifying looked good as well. We were talking throughout the race. The key really here is to get into the sort of the top 10, get into this into the semi-final stage. You certainly got the on-track ability for that. You must be kind of excited to think that there's a possibility to go all the way to the final.
To the finals a stretch. I've never driven anything in real life, so if I get to the final then something's majorly gone wrong, I'll be honest. I just want to find the speed to Kevin because I know when this car's fixed set up, it's just down to my driving. So I'm using this more as a let's try and find out why I'm in qualifying it's 1.2 seconds, but there's traffic in that lap, so it's a good chunk still off Kevin, who is at the front of Porsche iRacing Esports Cup and the VRS GT when it existed, but I'd still like to be able to find that speed to get back up to him.
Yeah, I guess it's an event like this actually brings in drivers from across the board and does open up the opportunity to sort of set yourself against some of these other drivers, like you say, and give yourself a good idea of where it is. And I wonder if you'll ask Kev nicely, he might share you a replay or something.
Yeah, I'll have to ask him really nicely, but we can always hope. But next round's at Alton Park, so we can start building for that because Snetterton, never driven it until this weekend, so it's different.
Yeah, it's a funny one because I haven't drove Snetterton a huge amount. I think a little bit in Kia and a couple of seasons ago when I did that. And then again, I've done a little bit of running just because it's coming up in another one of the leagues I'm doing. It just doesn't seem to show too much in the official series. And yeah, Kevin as well had to buy it. So how about Alton Park? I mean, bit more. It's been around a little bit longer on iRacing. How's your experience there?
Just as bad as Snetterton. I own it. I drive it every now and then. Never been fast with the chicanes because it's the wet with all the chicanes.
Yep.
Which the tyres and my chicanes, they just don't mix well and end up just going nose first into tyres. So if we survive next week, I'll be very happy.
Any sort of final thoughts, shout outs, or anything else you want to do while you're here?
Yes, thank you to Simsa, all the guys helping out with this, the new project that we've got going, which we should hopefully be bringing some exciting things with. The SMRC guys for finally bringing us this esports competition and getting all the sponsors on board for that. And of course, you guys for bringing us the podcast.
Well, thank you very much, mate. Before I let you go, I didn't give Andrew the opportunity to ask you any questions. So, any final questions before we release him, Mr. Woodhouse?
Yeah. I was just gonna say that, obviously, you still can't be too disappointed with that result because it all goes towards the points, towards not kill.
Yeah, considering what happened, I was sitting there looking at my relative F3, my caps. I'm like, okay, it's top 10 to get to not kill on points. If I can and I saw, okay, there's 10 seconds back to P8, P9, then 10, 11, 12 were in a battle, I think. So I just went, okay, there's a gap there, we'll just settle in. Let's not bin the car trying to push too hard.
Yeah, because if this is a bad race for you, then you've got 3 others where hopefully there'll be no issues and top 5 pace should see you through, hopefully.
You would assume so, but my work with pre-qualifying things is shown with Neil, in which, small margins usually.
Yeah. No, I agree. Well, thanks very much, Fraser, anyway, for joining us in the commentary box, and good luck for the next one.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers. Right then, Alex, I think that's pretty much all we've got time for, but just your thoughts really on the race and the series.
Yeah, no, good first race. Relatively clean and some good battles out there as well. I think the series is going to be quite an exciting one. I think with it being on the Wednesday and the Thursday, we unfortunately can't cover all of them, can we? So it's different commentary and broadcast crew for next week's one. So, but I'll watch it back nonetheless, just to sort of see how it goes and who's sitting there, sitting pretty on the points and things like that. And then it'll be over to us again for round 3. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And yeah,
me too.
Nothing more really to add than that. It was good racing, and come on, Alton, and let's hope for another one, just as good.
And then thank you very much, everybody, for watching on Facebook, on YouTube, wherever you are watching us at the moment. This has been Apex Racing TV. Andrew Woodhouse, Alex Simpson for the SMRC Esports Racing Championship. This is the fight to join the Scottish Legends Championship, and it continues next week at Alton Park. From everybody here, it's good night.